In the landscape of figure photography, one group strived for tangible and dynamic displays.
No time to explain. Get in the rows.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
We are live, Boog.
Oh, we are live. Yes, sir.
We're officially back at it.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. It's the bigger love of the family.
The Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast is filmed in front of a live virtual audience and is funded in part by viewers just like you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog, nice. Coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, episode 3033.
And some change.
All right. I'm your
Dude,
host.
you were so close this time.
Yeah, I was real close. Got my boys with me. Fabster. Pancheezy is with us in astral form. Rick is also with us in astral form. And I got my boy DeWalt up in the house.
What's cracking?
What's going on?
Those
How you
anime-
doing?
That can't be David Walton himself. That's crazy.
Hey,
It is.
Fabs.
What's up, dude?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Doing, you know?
Is that right? See
I
you
hear
over
it's New York Comic Con weekend.
It is.
there. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word on them streets. I think we have a man on the ground there at Comic-Con.
Yeah, man. Today was a pretty wild day, but I made it down to the Hasbro panel, which we're going to talk about here shortly. But, wellness check. How you guys doing? How was your week? Walton, how was your past months been? We haven't talked to you on the show in quite a while. So,
Yeah, man.
what's your deepest, darkest secrets?
Things are good, man. The fam and I don't know if everybody knows this, but the fam and I a couple years ago relocated to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So
Atlanta, okay.
right now though. But yeah, it's been good, man. Work has been busy. Collecting has been expensive. And
Yeah.
and one feeds the other. And so just going through the motions, man. Been seeing definitely been keeping up with everything that's been going on with October.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a good stress relief for me. And then checking you guys out doing the podcast thing, watching Fab spend all his money and hustle to get these Mezco releases.
No doubt.
See you over there.
Oh, not as much as you might think.
It's thinning out back there, huh?
Well, attention. My attention span only goes so far, and if whatever they're doing isn't keeping it, then I'm moving on to other things.
I mean, but they've been doing a lot. I've been seeing a lot of releases getting pumped out of there.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I did. Dave, you don't really mess with Mezco like that, right?
I think I got 3 Mezco.
All right.
I got that first Batman.
Mhm.
Look over here now at my Turtles set, which is crazy that I got that. And I have Mezco Lockjaw because
yes, okay, that makes sense.
Without the Black Bolt.
no, I don't.
Okay, there you go.
Your jammers. And so, yeah, I was able to. I forget who I went in half on the Black Bolt set. I was shocked that I would be able to do that with anybody because who wants Black Bolt without Lockjaw? But yeah, and I felt really good about my decision when I saw the Legends one because
Yeah, the Legends one is definitely a letdown, man.
lacking.
I don't have the Legends one. I guess you didn't even bother picking it up since you got the Mezco one, but
Nah.
But yeah, I was talking.
Unless you really wanted that crystal.
I do. So now I'm on the dilemma on the other end where I have to find somebody who only wants Lockjaw and does not want crystal to go with the rest of their ideas.
And everybody who doesn't want Lockjaw is because they already have the Mezco one. So it's just this cycle.
It is a vicious circle, man. A vicious circle. So either way, I'm gonna end up paying more for one of them than I want to, but definitely not trying to $75.
Wait, that the Lockjaw
for $15 more, you could just get Dragon Man though.
That is a justifiable buy.
Okay, so there you go.
To me, at least, because people are paying that price, still clinging on to paying that price for Build-A-Figures.
Yep,
so
100%
makes sense to me. But I'm messing up the format. So
whatever, dude.
I know the sections. I know that we don't talk about the sections until it's time.
Well, this is your catch up. We want to get inside your head, DeWalt. Where's your mind at?
This was really about you. This was just about kind of where you are and yeah,
and the followers. Yeah, I am happy to be on, man. It's we talk a lot behind the scenes. I talk to you guys like almost every day, every other day. Fab's not as much. He's a busy man out in Hollywood, so got to get on his calendar.
I feel like I get that a lot.
It's true. After a while, you got to just take it.
Yeah, I guess so. No, it has been busy over here, but not so much on the Hollywood end, dude. Hollywood is dead. So it's been a little, I don't know, shift in trajectory for me, getting back into just working and doing a real job and trying to find time in between to get the collecting in. I did finally buy something this week. I feel like I haven't bought anything in a while. Every now and then I catch like a Four Horsemen in stock sale and get something cool. But nice. I was out in Orange County visiting family, and I stopped by a local like toy spot collectible shop there. And I got my first Savage Crucible figure because I missed out on the Kickstarter.
Oh, really?
The Savage Crucibles fucking rule, dude.
So who'd you get? Did you get Jesus?
I'm gonna have to Google.
No,
that.
you're thinking while very much a Savage Crucible in and of its own.
Oh, my bad.
You're thinking of Biblical Adventures.
Okay, yeah. Savage Crucible is the
it's very accurate to call what the J-Man went through a Savage Crucible, but it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the lizard men.
Like lizard men, yeah. Okay, all
right.
Dude. The reptilians,
swords and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Sterling over at Cape and Cowl Collectibles. Gave me a little deal on the figure. He had one of the figures left, like one of the named figures, which I won't try to pronounce. It's on some Mythic Legion shit. But then he had a couple of the accessory sets, and he gave me a little discount on the accessory set. And he's like, "Bro, you're getting the last figure. Like, I'm never gonna sell this accessory set without selling the figure. So here you go."
Nice.
That's
and so that's got me, backtracking, trying to get some of like, they did it kind of like we saw with Brutal Realm, where there's like the deluxe figures that are named and they've got all these like accessories and themed stuff. And then there's like the blanks that are just like the generic army builders. So the Savage Crucible calls them slates. I got one slate on the way already to give some of these accessories to from the set. And he's going to be going up against Conan. That's what I'm looking at it as. It's just did
you have a double back for the King Conan?
No, I haven't gotten King Conan yet. I'm still kind of looking for it. I may be selling off some stuff to get it eventually, but
who made those?
Yeah, my focuses are shifting for sure. So I'm just trying to figure out what collection 4 or 5.0 at this point.
Conan figures, because I have one of them. I don't know which one I have. Which one came with the blue shirt?
That's Conqueror.
Yeah,
that's the second one.
That's Mezco. Oh, I thought you said who makes it.
Okay, yeah, so that's 4 Mezcos that I have.
Yeah, that's a great one. I would have a hard time letting go of my Mezco Conans because they're amazing. And now they're doing. I mean, I guess we'll get to it in the Mezco segment, but now they're doing movie Conan. So we'll see.
All that
we saw this.
I'm glad that you spoke to it because I just had this conversation with Greg recently and with Adam and with Solid Snake about the what was Bonner's line called? Brutal
Realm, yeah.
Brutal Realm, yeah.
And I was like, when it comes to collecting stuff like Brutal Realm and when it comes to collecting stuff like Mythic Legions, without it having that nostalgia tug, that like, oh shit, I gotta have that. I had that when I was a kid, or ooh, I used to watch that when I was growing up back in the 80s.
Yeah.
without that nostalgia tug, what is it that is the draw for you? Like to pick up these Savage Crucibles? Like what was, and I know you said you're going to put it with your Conan, but would you continue this line?
Well, I'm going to go on my Todd McFarlane shit right now and just be like,
Right.
it's just really cool. Like, they're just so cool. You know, we so cool here. So, like, that's what it is.
Now, they are dope, and I have seen them. The articulation looks amazing. Did you open this? You opened it already?
Yeah, I got them up here. I'll probably.
I was about to ask you to pull it out if you opened it. Pause.
All right. Hang on.
Pause.
Oh, and then there's another part of it that's like my favorite thing.
Okay.
Not my actual. I mean, it's cool, but the figure itself is actually amazing. This is like Nin Valenier or something like that. Let me see if I can solo it. There we go. Hey, he's just like a cool like lizard dude, you know. God, I wish my focus would do its thing.
Oh man, don't.
But he's got like toe articulation. These are all like double jointed knees. Like it's not focusing, but like the skin texture, like the scale detail on these guys is absolutely insane. And the joints are like both inserted on both sides, so they're not like totally exposed. Right now they are because I got them bent, but they're like insert molded, so they're nice and hidden with like the folds of the skin. The elbows could be a little better. They're still single jointed, but they still do the same kind of like insert molded thing. And then all of these pieces are like overlays. So the accessory set lets you swap out some of these like chest and shoulder and like crotch overlays to do like a more like, I don't know, savage kind of dude. Like the Crucible.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Savage Crucible Lemurian slate.
Lemurian, yeah.
Lemurian, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got the black one. There's an obsidian slate one that I got.
Oh, nice, okay.
And so, here we go. Now it's focusing. Yeah, look at the skin texture, dude. It's crazy. And the jaw is hinged too.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna tell you what's tugging me. Like,
I'm a
toy hoe, and I'm okay mixing and matching different lines. These would look amazing behind Super 7's Slythe as different lizard men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I see that.
Undercats in your display.
Yeah,
I can see that. What does that
Oh, there's a tail too. It's a segmented, like articulated tail.
Shit.
Tell me what it's comparable to, or what it feels like posing it. Like, what other line does it feel like?
It feels a little bit more posable, like more updated than like Mythic Legions. It's probably on average probably a better articulate. I don't know how the new Mythic Legions ones, but your average Mythic Legion, it's better than that. And like the proportions, I don't know. It's kind of like a NECA figure almost, I would say. You know, like the textures again are just crazy.
With the feel or with the articulation?
With the articulation, the way they like insert mold these like knees and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's got more swappability than a NECA figure. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really in a league all its own. Like even just like this stomach piece has like way more texture than something that you would really pay attention to, you know. It's just cool, and I think it's, you know, probably in its own scale, but just because they're lizard people, they can be whatever scale you need them to be. So I don't mind Conan looking like a little short next to these guys, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. Yep, I'm with you there.
I'm on the website now and I see that they are in their Piranha People bag.
Yeah, that's right. So wave like 1.5 was like the Barbarians, but now the next wave that's coming out, and only the first wave was Kickstarter. So these next ones are actually just full on open pre-orders. The next one is like fish piranha people.
Yeah, it's like fish people.
Yeah. And then there's like a Cthulhu like octopus wizard guy.
I see him, Harbinger of the Abyss.
Yeah, let's shit like that. It's just cool. Like it's not.
Does this say $39.99? No.
So the deluxe figures, this dude, I think was $50, which is, you know, kind of still average Mythic Legion's price.
Yeah.
For like a named character, but the generic army builder that I bought earlier today was like $28 or something.
Yeah, I see some of the slate figures here on BBTS are $27.99. So
yeah, there you go.
That's pretty.
And then the other thing is that I got 2 boxes because I have the accessory set over here too. But each box came with one of these like inserts. There's like a foil like thing that you open in the back of like this map, and then you open it up and it's these like character art sheets, but then on the back, they're like full on like Dungeons and Dragons playable character sheets
Oh, nice.
with like stats and abilities, and like if you wanted to like actually put these into a campaign or something, like it's all within the rules. It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy how the focus on the lore with people's third party offerings has really like ramped up over these years. Like you can't just have a dope figure. You got to have some whole like storyline associated.
Yeah, for sure.
But you kind of have to, because again, like I was saying earlier, without that nostalgia tug, what's the like connection? And so one thing that the Brutal Realm did really well was how they fleshed out all those characters. And it wasn't just the look, but they had like a story to go behind all of them. And shit, even Shartimus, even Russ, he had some crazy background stories for his come on, shameless plug.
Street Humans.
Yeah. Yes. Like he created like a whole backstory that could have been like a little sub comic for those.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at the end of the day, it all just goes back to like old school toy making. You know, like He-Man, when that came out, was just like, we need some lore to go with these toys that we invented, you know? So it's that kind of thing. We don't have like no, you know, primetime television slots or Saturday morning cartoons to sell to kids, but the idea is the same, that like we made this toy line and now we need like a vehicle with which to sell people the story to get them to buy the toys.
And it's actually a smart play when you're thinking long-term longevity and how to diversify the like revenue stream, because if it takes off, you mess around and get like an illustrator, some storyboarders, and then
that's
boom,
what Nacel's doing, dude.
Yeah, you segue into a graphic novel, and now you know what I'm saying. You're at Comic-Con pushing comics too. Mess around and get an animated show, and you've already got the structure. They're kind of doing it like reverse engineering, like you said, Fab, how He-Man was done and how Transformers were done. So
that's how it was back then. You know, we're doing the same thing, but in this new way, new look, same great taste.
Yeah, the new era, the new wave, the internet age. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you know, I think there's a fair amount of people raise his hand who are like, I'm tired of just consuming the same stuff. I want to like support what is kind of the new thing that we'll be nostalgic for in 30 years, you know?
Yeah, I mean, especially as it relates to some of these like more independent things, like, you know, Marvel and DC is going to have their foothold in this for eternity. Like it is what it is. But yeah, you might start to sour on some of the established independent things like the Rumble societies and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get that.
Maybe it's just where my head's at, where I'm 7 seasons deep into fucking Game of Thrones, and I'm like, fantasy stuff. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a vibe. And so I'm you got me on here now looking up characters. I see they also do some human people.
Yeah, and then they also have a Frazetta tie-in too. So they can technically kind of go with your Conans, whatever company you get a Conan from, because the humans that they'll be making are like adjacent Frazetta art humans. So it is all, you know, it all informs itself. It makes sense. Can't wait for those fish people.
Go ahead, Boog.
No, I was gonna say let's stay here. Let's just go ahead into Mezco, just for the listeners out there.
Go ahead. That's crazy.
For the listeners out there, it is New York Comic-Con 2024 right now. It began yesterday the 17th, running through the 20th. So there are quite a bit of reveals coming out from all of the lines right now. Mezco definitely had a few new things. But yeah, Dave, go ahead, say what you were going to say, but we could get into Mezco though.
Well, yeah, I'm playing a little catch up, but I was also going to ask, did you pick up the Frazetta Girls figures? Because you had mentioned them. Did you get
No, but I think I kind of want to double back for them. There was an exclusive at Comic-Con that I had meant to grab, but I just kind of forgot in the I don't know, fuss of everything. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to run with it the way that they did. I did pick up Dark Wolf, but I picked him up to be a representative of the first Black Panther. Sorry, it's been a long
that's cool.
What's the first Black Panther's name? Bashiri.
John Panther.
But I didn't know they were gonna make the female figure from the movie, and it looks like we got more figures coming from that movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Back when they used to do the rotoscape animation, I believe that's what it's called.
Yes,
rotoscope.
Yeah, rotoscope. Yeah, the old rotoscope animation stuff is dumb and fun.
Yeah,
I was
on
yeah. Fire and Ice is a great one.
Heavy
Metal 2000.
Yeah,
or the original Heavy Metal.
that movie helped me go through puberty when I was a kid.
Awakened something in everybody.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, it's you're absolutely right about the crossover appeal. I've seen some people do some displays with that Dark Wolf and their Mezco Conans.
Dude, that Dark Wolf with these lizard men, like amazing. Like not all of it just kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I think for a long time I was very much a purist, but sometimes it's okay to mix things up.
Yeah, I live by that. Boog be judging me all the time, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Play with my toys. So yeah, you got to. Just don't display them in A.C.B.A. They'll come for you.
I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, a Savage Crucible with a Mezco Conan. That doesn't make any sense. You know?
Actually, I think we've already seen that. I forgot.
Of course.
I forgot whose photo it was, but we featured it. They had Conan choking out one of the lizard people.
Yeah, there you go.
Who was that? It was a really good photo. It was a really good picture.
Well, we'll come back to it. Maybe when Poncho gets on, we'll feature some photos and stuff. But we're getting to Mezco real quick. As we said, it is New York Comic-Con this very weekend, but it's also RumbleCon. And leading up to RumbleCon, they had 2 drops on consecutive Wednesdays. First, it was this Doc Nocturnal, the monster who hunts monsters. And then the following week, last Wednesday, was the Decapod Gang, the Carboon Brothers.
Right.
So you got your Doc Knock and your Mobster Lobsters, and they were for pre-order. Technically, they were in stock, but they won't ship till after the con. So if you're at the con this weekend, you also have another opportunity to pick these up at the booth. So,
yeah, if you wanted to just show off some toy photography, there was a few cool shots from some influencers that got that stuff early. I think your man, Jason, whatever.
Did Eric? No, or Henrock, he didn't get any. Let me see.
Henrock didn't get anything, but I think Jason and a couple other people. I guess you can check out.
I can just go on the Mezco one because they featured all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That Samurai Jack was fun. That was
unexpected. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yes, here's as part of the Doc Nocturnal drop, they had their usual stop motions from Alex Kropanak, and then a few of the different influencers getting early in hand photos of this Doc Nocturnal.
Oh, that overhead shot was nice.
Yeah. So for us Mezco lay people, how many times has Doc Nocturnal been released now? Because I've seen this figure before.
I think this is you've
seen this character before, but it's an all new version of him. It's like way beefier, different body, totally different accessories. It's almost like the HD remastered edition of him because he's like, nice. I feel like a little more fleshed out too. Like we've got a little bit more lore in terms of it just not being a skull guy, but like this kind of like undead demi-human comeback, and then masquerades as a skull guy. So that's an all new kind of feature for him, is different skull masks, different I guess like HD versions of accessories he's kind of had before, like the goggles, like the gas mask, like the chemical gun shooter thing.
Yeah, he's got on like his little Nazi gear in that other photo. Go back.
Yeah, he's like a little more like modernized tactical. Like the old Doc Nocturnal was definitely like kind of 50s pulpy kind of Doc Nocturnal. This is like, you know, modern, fucking badass, full arsenal.
Those are some quality ass soft goods on this guy.
But this is version what though? That's what David was asking you though. How many?
Basically, version 2.0 of the original look. Because the original look, there was this red and black, and then there was like where the suit was red, and then the gauntlets were black.
Right. Okay, I do.
That was on that original body. This is
now
like
it's the beast one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, these leather goods look really dope, man. The cape looks good. The jacket, the overlays, all of this looks they're very well in their photography.
It all looks really good. Yeah, for sure. A little bit more lore fleshed out for him too. So, you know, that's good. And then there's more to come with him because there's definitely been other things teased that we've seen at New York and even at San Diego that we saw that were gonna kind of a promise of things to come with Doc Nocturnal.
All right.
But yeah, there's a lot. Here's the Jason B. Michael ones you wanted me to pull up.
No,
He always
I
does
was
great work, man.
More of the decapods or whatever they are from
Yeah, well, here he is fighting them. So as part of the stop motion rollout for this Doc Nocturnal, there was the Decapod gang, and then it was like a to be continued thing. And then when it was continued, it was the Decapod gang, which are basically, once again, just mobster lobster dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't just saying that to be phonetically dope. They're real lobsters. I thought these were more roach people.
No, these are like shellfish of some kind, like crayfish or something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, they're for sure just lobsters.
Like, what have they ever said in an interview? Like, what's the motivation and what's like the creativity that goes behind being so far out of the box? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When I first saw the roach, what's his name?
Gomez?
Yeah. When I first saw Gomez, I was clowning him hard. I was like, man, ain't nobody buying this shit. This is a roach and like clothes. Nobody's gonna want this. And it sold out like everything else sells out.
Yeah.
People are like fiending for it. So like, and you may know, but what's like the thought process that goes behind the character creation in these?
I can't get into the thought process. I don't know that for sure. I think just from a consumer standpoint, same thing. It's just like, it's cool. Like, it's just dumb and nonsensical, and it's really just a head swap away from being whatever you want it to be. So you just, I don't know. Just, it is what you make of it, I guess.
Yeah, those first few Gomez figures, though, the real draw with a lot of people was the clothing, because it was some really cool, unique sort of street clothes. And like Fabio said, you could just like swap on some other heads and like just have like regular person and some cool street clothes.
Like these guys, if you're into like the Mezco Dick Tracy stuff, you know, you can just get any of your other, you know, head sculpts, either third party or from Mezco, and swap those onto these, and then you've got just goons for prune face or flat top or whoever.
That's not bad. And I remember when he was not, now this one I almost got. I didn't get him because I was like, oh, what am I going to do with it? But the Vapor, that was his name.
Yeah.
Now that was cool. And I remember everybody was clamoring to get him because of all the dope ass accessories that he came with.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. He
that's
really
one
did.
that I'll hold on to long after I've sold everything off that I have from Mezco. I'll definitely hold on to Vapor.
Okay. So have they released more humans and to go with him and like that look like him or different characters?
Vapor? No, they haven't been back to hoods since, which is one of Rick's criticisms. Gosh bless him if he were here.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting because he sold well and he sold out too, right?
Well, they did another version of him, like a more like, I guess, sort of like 1930s version. Of
a very old timey version.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair criticism or just observation even with Mezco, is that they never like live in one world long enough. Like by the time they're doing, you know, they do hoods and they do this new Vapor and live in there for a while. By the time you're like, okay, when's the next one? They've already moved on to like the next thing, you know.
Next thing, huh?
So it's, if you're just here for the Vapor stuff, then you probably got a little while to wait before they like cycle back around, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of, it's the gift and the curse of collecting multiple lines and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were only in it for Vapor, then yeah, all right, your wallet gets a rest and you can focus on some other things, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, not everybody has the completist mentality. Must be nice.
I'm a toy hoe, baby.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so that was the Decapod gang. Once again, they're at San Diego or at New York Comic Con, and they've been posting some reveals as well. So we're gonna take a look. I think they're also going to be doing online reveals tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
As part of their own sort of RumbleCon, right?
Yeah, as part of Mezco Con. Yeah, exactly.
MezcoCon,
or is it RumbleCon? I think it is RumbleCon. You're right. Yeah, RumbleCon 2024. Look at that. But a few in-person reveals they had on display at their booth. we got classic Thor. And shout out to Henrock, who also got some great footage of him on his own. Shout out to Henrock 112.
Yeah. I was talking to Brandon, who actually saw yesterday and hung out with him for quite a while. But he was saying he thought Thor was a little undersized. He didn't really love the way it looked.
Yeah, that's
definitely on the Conan body because it's got those.
Is it? Oh, then it is
on the
small.
King Conan body.
No, then that's not right.
That's been the biggest criticism coming out of the con is that he's undersized.
I haven't actually even seen this in person. I was over at the Mezco booth, and me and Brandon was standing there talking. I had bumped into KJ and some other people over there.
KJ? Bernard.
KJ Bernard.
KJ Bernard, yeah.
Not my KJ. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and we were over there chopping it up, and I filmed like a little bit of the like Rumble Society stuff, but then I totally forgot about the Thor. I haven't even seen this in person yet.
Well, you gotta be the final judge then. Is it undersized?
I mean, you'll know when you'll see people displaying them with their Conan in their display. But I mean, it looks good. It looks okay. I think it looks good. They is the chest area that like leather material that they use?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it's I don't know, kind of a pleather overlay material.
And the head sculpt looks good. The
very Jack Kirby head sculpt, which is cool.
I'm digging the translucency, selling the spinning hammer gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
The cape looks like it could be a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. That seam is a little unseemly.
I'm pretty sure that it says like this is not final. Yeah, okay, it says not final.
Okay. Yeah, he does. I mean, he looks a little small in the photo. So
yeah, for sure.
Shout out to those who are looking forward to that figure, though.
There he is in the case. Just the idea of him. If this is the proof of concept, then this is something that people have definitely wanted for a while. So it's cool that it's coming. We're finally going to finish our big three, and we got 2 Captain Americas in between.
Does it come with an alternative unhelmeted head?
Who knows? This is literally all we know about him right here. What you see.
And it is not final. So
yeah.
They
pending licensor approval. Well, you alluded it earlier. How about some Samurai Jack?
So I'm gonna go first on this one.
All right.
It was a nice surprise to see it. However, it does whet my appetite for the one Mezco figure I am dying for them to do, and it's Afro Samurai.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I can see that.
Phenomenal. If they did Afro and Kuma, all in on day one. But it also, is this like kind of like a black and white, not like the color version?
Yeah, it looks a little desaturated. Maybe there'll be a couple of different editions of him. But
and it would
I mean, depends how well he does, because I could also see this being a one and done, and it's not like they're really gonna do much else other than Jack. Can you imagine? That'd be fucking huge, and how would they even do it?
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, and then they also did Doc Savage. Also kind of looks like he's on the Conan body, or a version of it. Does he have flock hair? Crazy. This Widow's Peak is insane.
He looks a little bigger than the Thor. Am I tripping? Am I bugging?
I think so. I think he looks equally as not big.
I don't know. Is there a large group of people that are clamoring for Doc Savage figures these days?
I feel like Mez is the one clamoring for Doc Savage.
Is that Charleston Comics era character?
Something like that, yeah.
Old school.
And then there's movie Conan. Look at that.
This is their first time entering down the movie road.
Yeah, with Conan.
Yeah.
This is all new for this Conan, though, right?
Yeah, it looks like an all new body.
Yeah, it looks really beefier than anything else they have for this this size, right?
Yeah. And I'm saying, dude, and I think I'd said this even when the idea of a Conan body kind of flew around, like a movie Conan body is just a Schwarzenegger body. So from here, they could do, Dutch from Predator.
True.
Yeah.
Literally just take this body right here and put the soft goods on him, you know?
Yeah. They've never done a Terminator either, huh?
No.
Yeah.
No. They've done the Predator from the first movie, so.
Yeah, I'm guessing they could do Schwarzenegger, at least from Predator. I don't know about all the other characters, but that's really the dream of all the collectors out there is to get that,
Yeah.
to have that full team, really. But
yeah, good for health. Also, Terminator. Literally just take this body
Yep.
and put the Terminator clothes on him. Done.
Yep. Lots of leather goods over there at Mezco. So make that T1, T2 Terminator.
The idea of just a Schwarzenegger body in the tooling library just titillates me, I must say.
I would not be mad if for the Dutch they did a Dutch and Dylan 2-pack.
Oh man, I wish.
That would be
Dylan doesn't get the respect he deserves. Now that Carl Weathers has unfortunately passed, I can't imagine it's much easier.
Yeah, but it would sell like hotcakes because of that, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Hotcakes.
Look at this. Wow. War Paint Conan. All right. How about Miles? What do you think about this, Miles?
This is the one we've seen before, right? And the promo images and
well, yeah, that's the first time
we've never seen it in person.
in person. Right? Yeah.
And that's a key distinction because the other one is basically just a render.
Well, let me see it in a non-dynamic pose, though, because the feedback that a lot of people had about the render was that he looked way too skinny.
Well, they was kind of going for the actual design of the
movie.
The movie. So, there he is weirdly proportioned and like whatever. Like I don't know. So I can't really tell here though. I can't really tell what's going on right here, and that might be by design.
I mean, he looks a little bigger than he did in the render. So I guess they did need to beef him up a little bit to make it tangible. I'm not mad at this. I think this is a really great representation, and the soft goods look amazing with how it clings.
Yeah, the textures look good. There's difference in like the pleathers versus like the textured overlays. I don't know. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I ain't mad at this.
I think everybody's just ready to hate it just because there's so many Miles already out there.
I mean, yeah. But honestly, I think the suit that we're seeing here fits this body better than the 616 Spider-Man that they made.
For sure. Yeah, it's something I think they really do better when it's a fully textured fabric versus something like that Spider-Man or Fantastic Four when it's just got to be like a plain, spandex.
Yeah, I almost bit on that Fantastic Four set, but then the more I looked at it and the longer I looked at it, the Thing was the figure I liked the most. But then I realized I liked him the most because he had on the least amount of soft goods. And so then that's what talked me out of it. I don't know. Those suits just look really big and bulky to me.
Yep, I agree. Well, out of everything that we just saw right now of new stuff, what piques your interest the most, guys?
Here's another peek at Woodford.
Yeah, I did get video of this. I did get video of this too. I was told that that Page did one of these dioramas for one of these displays for one of these Rumble. I'm not sure if it was this one. I think it was the other one.
Might have been the same as the one at San Diego.
Yeah, it was a lot of that going around the con when I was talking to like the representatives from whatever company. They were quoting a lot of names of people in the communities that had done the dioramas. I didn't realize that that 796 had did that one diorama for June for Jada actually. Too.
Yeah, it was in our interview.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. What do you think of this? We didn't talk about this guy, the Wolverine.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm already like fatigued with the Deadpool and Wolverine figures already, and like I don't know. And half of these shits didn't even come out yet, but I feel like I'm like over it already.
The fact that they aren't already out in hands is
yeah.
By the time this comes out, you won't even care about the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of a disservice. Yeah, they should have had them ready to go. Yeah,
it's true. But I I don't know. Every time I see that suit with the long sleeves, I just get annoyed because I hated that look on him.
Mm.
I think this is the best movie Deadpool of any company, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mm.
You're biased.
No, for real. All of them, all the rest of them just look, I don't know.
The Hot Toys one?
Well, other than Hot Toys, I mean, obviously Hot Toys is going to be, I mean, 6, 112 scale.
112
has the Legends
figure art's better than I mean, I guess it depends what your budget is at, but if you're going to be getting just one end all be all Deadpool, this might be it right here. Comes with Dogpool. Nobody else can say that. Come on.
Cool. Yeah, the Legends one dropped. I wasn't checking for that myself. But yeah, it's not bad. I like the gun straps and the holsters on the side. Those are cool.
Oh my God, P Cheesy has been in the mix this whole time, and sorry,
stealthy.
It's all right. We'll be all right. Now he's in. I know he's a big Deadpool and Wolverine guy. He loves the X-Men.
So check this out. Go back to Wolverine for a second, my brother.
Okay.
What would be cool is if we got the John Brown suit from the movie, the brown suit.
Yeah.
Brown. Now that would be a good looking Mezco Wolverine.
I would rather any Wolverine from that movie except this suit.
The mustard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they're doing it right, but I feel like this just translates weirdly to this scale. I don't know.
It's more so it translates weirdly to you're right, to this scale, but more specifically the soft goods in this scale. Like, you know what I mean? Like this particular suit just looks a lot better as just a plastic figure. That's why the Legends one looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd rather the brown suit, dude. I'd rather the Age of Apocalypse suit from the movie. You know?
Snazzy. Yeah, they would do a good job with the hair and the head sculpt.
Yeah. And I think the head just looks a little small here, doesn't it?
It does look a little small.
Yeah, but I've been bothered by this head the entire time. If you went this far to put him in the yellow and the blue, you should have went all out and gave him the bigger hair, the bigger wings. I didn't like the way his hair looked in the film, and I don't like the way it looks on this figure.
Yeah, I think you're right about the Deadpool though, Fabio. It does look very good, and we've been kind of like starved of a Deadpool too.
Yeah, I think what's true about this Wolverine, the opposite is true about this Deadpool, where like this suit just looks so good in 112 scale and just so like good with this texture and in soft goods and everything, I just don't it doesn't seem the same. Like this is more of that like Batman Supreme Knight sort of look, and this is more like the Black Panther suit,
So this is an interesting question. I wonder what material they'll go with for the soft goods on that Wolverine, because in your mind's eye, what does that suit feel like to you? Is that suit?
It feels more like the Supreme Knight, where it's like the whole thing is like I don't know, kind of a stiff rubber rather than it being like a spandex with a rubber overlay, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's about it, I think, for Mezco. We got a couple other things to get to, but shout out to Henrock once again, who's got some really great photography. I think he might be participating in October where possible. But Henrock also just got the Junkyard Joe, so he's been doing some great photos with him. Good stuff.
Nice. Speaking of Joes, we didn't get any Joes from Mezco. Nothing. They're not going back to that well.
Not that I've seen. Let's see. No, that's about it for new reveals, but that's not to say that they won't have more tomorrow.
Yeah.
The 19th and the 20th is the actual RumbleCon days, so that'll be when they do the exclusives, the activities, the reveals, the things of that nature.
Nice.
All right. That's tomorrow. I guess we'll check in with that next week.
Yeah. All right. So tomorrow, Bill,
Woodford.
what's the possibility that something that they actually reveal at RumbleCon will show up in the cases on tomorrow?
I mean, it depends. I'm sure it'll depend on whether what they reveal is something they have as a prototype or not.
That's not really how they get down, is it? Have they done that before? Because
they've done that before, where as the weekend goes on, they add new stuff to the case.
No, but like a fresh reveal, they'll have it at the actual con because we're just now seeing Miles, and that.
Wow, they got a picture of Loco Lou right there. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, well, with Miles, they have shown it before. It was like a pre-order already. So the new reveals altogether, because they're being shown for the first time in person without like a render or anything, is the Thor, the Samurai Jack, the Doc Savage, and the Conan.
Got it. So these are like hot off the press. Never.
Yeah, these are like, this is the figure in the case is the announcement that it's coming, as opposed to Miles. Like, we've already announced that it's coming. We've already had it up for pre-order, but this is the first time you see it in person.
All right. So yeah, I'm sure people were gassed in. I'm sure people were really hyped to see those.
Yeah, pretty gassed up, I think. All right. Well, that's about it. A little more Mezco coverage, perhaps, as the weekend goes on. But until then, here's was one more little minor reveal. There's going to be a blacked out version of this new Doc Nocturnal.
Right. That's what I forgot. I saw this. I videoed this as well, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute, is that another version? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to be murdered out black.
It's kind of cool. Yeah,
there you go. I don't know. Some new feet on that Pepper Press stopper, so maybe we'll see her at some point too. Who knows? Huh?
Yeah, I was just about to ask about her.
Who is she?
She's just the kind of Lois Lane to
the damsel in distress.
Yeah, damsel in distress / hard hitting reporter. Reportress.
All right, so we actually gonna get a Lois Lane at some point, huh?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Have they ever done the Rocketeer?
No, but I could see it.
Yeah,
they haven't. Who was that did the Rocketeer before? Or that was that NECA that had a Rocketeer?
It was Funko, I believe.
Oh, Funko, that's right. That's right.
A really good one came out. It was on like a 2-pack with his lady.
Yeah, that was from, I think, Loose Collector.
Was it?
Executive Replicas, you see. But yes, more Mezco reveals coming as the weekend continues. Go check out the itinerary, all that. Wow. Breaking news right now. The Sentinel was revealed at the Marvel Legends panel.
Shots fired.
So yeah, the Hasbro panel was tonight. I was sillily under the impression that this was just a Marvel Legends panel, but it was the Hasbro panel covering all of the Hasbro properties. So it was one presentation together. The house was packed. The room was packed. I did get some video on the Instagram, on the A.C.B.A. Instagram, but I don't know how you're going to be able to show it properly on here because you would have to rotate the screen. But anyway, the house was packed. It was so packed that that they had to shut it down. Nobody else could get in at some point. People were standing up. It was completely packed in there. But yeah, they showed off stuff from.
So I mean, the main tease at first was this big, rock footprint thing.
Well, sorta, yes and no. This has been up in the con since the first day, since Thursday. Nowhere where you would really find it though, because usually what they will do is they'll have some type of setup in the Marvel booth if they don't have their own full booth. But this is off to the side, where the little trinkets and shit is. I don't even know what this booth is.
Tchotchkes is the word you're looking for.
It's not even part of the Marvel booth. But yes, if you just by happenstance was walking from one side of the con to the other, you may have seen this little teaser here. So again, there was a lot of stuff coming out throughout the week. This was like the worst kept secret that, it was going to be a Sentinel. It was just a matter of how big it was going to be, the cost, the overall look, the size, but yeah, in the Hasbro panel, they showed off stuff from the first thing they showed off was the Ghostbusters HasLab, which again we knew because we saw leaked images of that like 2 months ago or something like that, maybe. But they showed off that in its entirety. It's a very nice package. Like it's really nice what they put together there. I was gonna try to have Danny come on to give us the like ins and out of the Ghostbusters thing, but he is at a family function right now. But anyway, they showed Ghostbusters, they showed Transformers, they showed G.I. Joe, they showed Star Wars, and then Marvel was last. And they revealed X-Men 97 style Sentinel. It's about 22 inches in height, a little shorter than the sort of House and Powers of X style Sentinel that we got as a HasLab. Some different interchangeable accessories here for a battle damage look, and some like blast effects that you can plug into the hands. And they got rid of the, I guess, tentacles for this version. So you get the blast effects instead of the tentacles. And they want $175 a pop. Which is not bad considering that the Sentinel was the HasLab Sentinel was what, 300?
Yeah, 300.
Yeah. So 300 for one Sentinel, and you could get
3 figures, or was it 3 figures, right?
Or a little bit more. Yeah, and it came with 3 figures too. Yeah. But yeah. All right. What's your thoughts? Tell me all about it.
I'm also looking up the like panel recap because it really did go through like every brand.
Yeah.
Fun fact: you could check out the A.C.B.A Instagram though, probably, and see if you could like rotate. I don't know if that's even possible, but it's on there. It's a real.
So really quick before we jump into the Sentinel chat, because I got tings to say. Tings, big tings. The Ectomobile HasLab is at 3,436 backers
already. Wow.
Ghostbusters collectors do not play.
They don't.
Yeah, they are loyal.
I mean, we knew this when that the ghost trap was.
Oh, the ghost.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're loyal to the brand. And I was just saying earlier, you would think that once you have the 4 figures in the Ghostbusters 1 costume, the 4 figures in the Ghostbusters 2 costumes, you're good. Like a couple of ghosts and you're Gucci, but nah, they are clamoring for more. So shout out to the Ghostbusters team for getting it in, and yet again, this will definitely fund.
Which is crazy with how quiet the Ghostbusters brand has been for years.
Yes, sir.
I guess I'll show that real quick. That's what we're talking about.
It comes with a lot of stuff, and there's also a lot of light up features on this thing as well, like lights and sounds and the whole nine yards, man.
I mean, all right. I'm not gonna take it there because I don't want to derail us, but that we will
already know what you think.
Knowing we will have a 12-inch scaled Ecto 1, but we could not fund the Engine of Vengeance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It's crazy.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Sad, man.
Damn you, Legends collectors.
I think that's got everything to do with the vehicle and the characters attached to it not being as hot.
I get it. That's why I started not to say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my rant off.
What's the price point for this? I don't even remember how much they said this was.
Looking at it now.
Let me check for you. Nobody say anything.
Okay. It is big. I'm looking at the scale pictures of them like holding it with like a little phantom person holding it up, and it is a
$324.99.
Look at that. That's crazy.
But you know what? as I'm looking at all the features that this comes with and the accessories and the way that this really does look like the Ecto 1, it has light up features. I ain't mad at it.
Oh, there's 2 different versions too.
Oh, yes. Tell us more.
There's a base model and there's a deluxe model that also comes with the 4 Ghostbusters
Oh, okay.
and
That's
a
what it
different swappable top.
There are 2 different price points.
Yep.
Yeah,
324,
325 versus 400.
So how does that work with a HasLab? Like, what are you funding toward? Like, because their target goal is 12,000, are they just doing total of how many they sell, whether it's the regular and the deluxe?
That's a good question.
They've never done this before.
You know, I think they have done it, but
Talking about 325 versus 400 for an extra $75. You get the whole crew. Like, why would you even opt for for this without the crew?
because there's people that probably already have the original releases and they're cool with that. They don't care for getting these like darker suit versions. They want like the first movie versions inside of this part.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, gotcha.
You know,
That's crazy. They got my man Rick Moranis
deluxe
on here.
one.
Rick Moranis, word.
Yeah.
And Rick Moranis. Yeah, you do get your Rick Moranis.
And the Ghostbusters suit on top of that. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, but one of them, I guess the deluxe has more decals also.
Shit, yeah, because one is from Ghostbusters 1 and the other comes with the accessories to make it look like it's from Ghostbusters 2.
You already know what's about to
Well,
happen.
I'm messed up because I only want figures and a vehicle from Ghostbusters Answer the Call.
But this is so
All female Ghostbusters.
fucking smart because they know the fan base is fanatical. And since the vehicle is different in both movies, now it's kind of like
shit.
Way up to buy 2.
Wait, but David, now that you said that, I, as a Ghostbusters fan who is a whale, want to buy both.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the move. Because again, we were just talking about the fan base is fanatical and they support this brand. So people will 100% buy both. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, a big Ghostbusters fan, and the fact that they don't get a lot of stuff unless it's like through the HasLab for real. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like a once a year type purchase. So they're going to go ham. That's crazy. Very well done.
It's crazy to not have any retail releases for this like plasma series in like years, and then all of a sudden they're like, here's everything forever.
What's the articulation scheme on these? Looks like it's or the mold, how they function. It looks like they're Star Wars, right?
They look
a little bit better. They got double joints at least.
Looking at that other photo of them all together, like the 4 of them standing next to each other with the proton packs, they look like, I thought they were like 3 3/4 inch figures.
Yeah, but they're not, right? It's 1/12 scale, correct?
But
yeah. I don't know. The way I'm looking at
right they look crazy in that picture right there.
The way I'm looking at the pants, the knee joints, it looks like it's that sort of style of the Star Wars, Indiana Jones, like it's that on this stuff.
They do have butterfly joints though. Look at that.
Barely.
That's crazy.
Excuse me. Barely still means yes.
Spidal in the chat, correct.
Sounded a little. Sounded a little. Rapey, man.
Rick Moranis is not a stretch. Rick Moranis is an early bird special.
Oh,
right.
Wow. See, look at that, man. They got.
So you got to prove you're a big enough fan within the first 2 weeks to have that figure.
They got the early bird special. They got 2 fucking different versions. It is a car. Yeah. It's more than the Engine of Vengeance. They just. Oh man.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, that's very ballsy.
That's ballsy, but they know
if you're a Ghostbusters fan and you don't get this, I will revoke your card.
Yeah, And
my boy.
the minimum target is 12,000. Is that what was the minimum for Engine of Vengeance? Wasn't it like 8 or some shit?
No, I think Giant Man went that low. I think they were still feeling themselves when Engine of Vengeance came out, so I think it probably would have been around 12.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Engine of Vengeance was like peak. Oh, we can pretty much do whatever they want, and they'll just buy it.
Because they were coming off of back-to-back wins with Sentinel and then Galactus, and then they were like, hell yeah, they're going to want this Ghost Rider car. And no.
I mean, honestly, if it I don't know, it just wasn't the right time for that. If they would have, now that I'm thinking about it and thinking about ramen, and of course hindsight is 2020, as they say, but like if they would have did a Blade car and did some Blade shit, and then they still could have tied in Mephisto and whatever, that would have worked. Or if it was the Punisher van, it would have worked.
I mean, ironically enough, Ramen Toys saw the fumble and they picked up the bag.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did.
Yeah.
Because the way they rolled out their Ramen Racer technically is the way that Hasbro should have rolled out the Engine of Vengeance, where it was convertible enough that you could have made it into Robbie Reyes's car or Blade's car.
Right. Yeah.
And then you would have ended up with a situation like this where people were like, well, I don't fuck with Robbie Reyes, but I definitely want it for Blade.
Yep. And the Ramen Racer is official for your Marvel Legends Blade or your Mezco Blade too. So like, yeah, man.
Again, you know, other companies learn from the mistakes of the Engine of Vengeance HasLab. There were just a lot of things that they could have and should have done better. But you know, you live and you learn.
Well, it does look like they've updated the whole Hasbro Pulse website, so they don't show all of the past projects from HasLab anymore. So I couldn't tell you how many backers anything before this took, but either way, I mean, I will say this went live today. This went live today, right?
Yes. Right.
A Ghostbusters thing, it's not funding as fast as it probably could.
How it only took a couple days for the trap to close, right? To meet
a day, maybe
a day.
Yeah.
Good God. Yeah, I mean, but you know, this will get there. This is we're coming up on the holiday. What is the rule? 45 days. There are a lot of people right now that are looking at their ramen noodle budget and trying to figure it out heading into the holiday season. This is a big ask, especially again, recognizing that if you are a diehard Ghostbusters fan, you're not looking at this as I need one of these. You're looking at this as I need both of these.
Yeah.
So,
and you should be if you are a real fan.
If you are a real fan.
Yeah. If you're not, you know, probably one or the other is fine. But if you're like, wow, Ghostbusters is my shit, I'd be a fool for not getting both.
And again, it's even more ballsy because Ghostbusters 2 is not as loved as Ghostbusters 1. So the fact
it's more love than Ghostbusters 3.
Which one was that? Was that the one with Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
We don't talk about that in this house, Fabio.
Well, I do have.
Well, I talk about anything that's not talked about. We still celebrate Christopher Columbus in this house.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You're about to get the whole podcast canceled.
He was a brave Italian American explorer. In this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero.
Oh shit.
I do have some screen caps of some of the past HasLabs here. The Ghostbuster Plasma series HasLab 2 in the box, PKE meter funded at the minimum goal. I had it screen cap 10,089 backers, and they still have 42 days left on the campaign. They hit the minimum goal very fast.
Yeah. Wing or Lose is saying the Engine of Vengeance was 9,000 backers.
9,000. Star Wars Vintage Collection.
$49.99.
Okay. The Ghost.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying the Ghost topped out at 21,768, I believe. What were you saying, Fabio? G.I. Joe Classified Series Dragonfly topped out at 24,764. Giant Man.
Oh shit! Hang on a second.
The final for Giant Man.
We got Dan Yoon in the comments.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
What's up, Dan?
Friend of the show.
He says hindsight is 2020. Ramen isn't paying a royalty.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
Again, we all know that. Like, we bring it up all the time when people try to compare what the G.I. Joe team is doing with the Legends team. Having to pay that royalty is a big deal because Mickey Mouse got bills to pay. But I do still stand by that there were definitely lessons to be learned, and respect for you for saying that hindsight is 2020. I mean, again, I know we're about to get there in a second, but I think that we are reaping what we sowed as a community as we went from the Engine of Vengeance, which didn't make it, to Giant Man, which limped across the finish line, to now we had to pre-order Dragon Man, and now we're pre-ordering Sentinels. Boog can attest to this. Once Engine of Vengeance went down the way it did, I emphatically said to him, the Legends team is about to be like, fuck y'all. Because it wasn't just the fact that it didn't get funded, it was all of the vitriol that came along with it.
Yeah, it was all the bitching and moaning, of course.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No way. I think this proves that, the company was like, oh, you guys really don't want this, so we're never going to do it again. It definitely had nothing to do with the offering not being worth the price.
You know what,
it was a question of the community proving it wasn't a big enough fan of itself to fund this project.
But see, here's the thing, and this is where I'm gonna push back on that just a little bit, hoping that you're being serious and not facetious.
No, I'm being facetious.
Okay, then I will push back facetiously. So I hear you, but what you're saying facetiously, there are a lot of people out there that truly feel that way.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it.
Now I'm picking up on what you're laying down, brother. But the reality is that the HasLab is built to do what it do. It is like the best trapdoor system where if the community speaks out and really don't want this, then guess what? We save the company a ton of money not making it.
Right.
And so therefore, even when it fails, the HasLab worked because we didn't put something into production or take up space in brick and mortars that we're going to lose money on. So it's one thing for the EOV not to fund. It was a totally different thing when all of these content creators started eating off of, basically polluting the campaign and, convincing people and doing like an anti-campaign for the campaign. And really at the end of the day, if you don't want it, don't back it. But to take it from people who really do want it, and for that to almost happen twice with Giant Man, I called it and was like, yo, they're going to basically just go back to either doing only pre-orders or only offering stuff again at conventions that's exclusive to SDCC or once upon a time when we used to get NYCC exclusives. And that's what we're seeing.
I mean, I feel like we were saying this like as soon as Hasbro Pulse became a thing, that we were just like, all right, you guys have your own site where you could do ready to order items.
Yeah, like direct to consumer.
Yeah, direct to consumer.
You don't got to wait for a retailer to
do it.
An order that you then distribute.
Do stuff that is exclusive just to the site, and make the quantities depending on who wants it, who pre-orders it. That's it. It's simple. And they talked about that a little bit in tonight's panel too. Before they showed off the Sentinel, they talked about Dragon Man and how now they can offer these bigger figures and do them direct to consumer and do them as Pulse exclusives. And so that is, to me, it's a ode of things to come, and like this is going to be more frequent. We're going to see more bigger figures go this route basically and be.
That's what I was going to say. I think the biggest takeaway from Engine of Vengeance is that like the Marvel Legends audience and fan base and core collector is not interested in vehicles. They're interested in just larger scale figures and new characters that are larger scale that fit with the rest of the collection, whereas G.I. Joe is very vehicle centric, so vehicles will always work.
Right.
Engine of Vengeance failing in Marvel Legends would be like if G.I. Joe Classified series did a 22-inch tall Cobra Commander because in one episode, in one animation frame, he was that big, and it's like, oh, here you go.
But aha, you bring up a 22-inch tall figure. Giant Man didn't meet all the tiers, and Giant Man is a founding Avenger.
Yeah,
but he's not a yes for sure. But these HasLabs have to appeal to the fucking casuals too. It's not just hardcore collectors that are pushing this over.
Damn, Giant Man is niche. Hank Pym is niche.
I think it's niche enough that people would be like, I'm okay with a regular size version of Ant-Man being Hank Pym in my display, and I don't need Giant Man.
You got to understand too, David, that there is like a huge swath of Marvel Legends collectors right now that like are frowning up their face throughout this whole like past year, where we got all of these comic based offerings that don't even fuck with the comic based stuff at all, and they only collect MCU stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
to me, because I don't really mess with all the MCU stuff like that. I would say 95% of it I don't mess with.
Right.
But so yes, I hear you, because there's a different generation that's being brought up on Marvel and Marvel characters.
Yeah.
And I guess that was the wake up call to me when Giant Man had to limp across the finish line, because I'm like, oh, the fact we didn't get, mind you, we didn't have the most amazing tiers, but the fact that we didn't get them all, I was shocked. And I was like, the game has really changed.
No, it didn't, you know, blow out the entire campaign for sure. It was a bit of a slow crawl, but like we're saying, like Man Beast Boy is saying, vehicles are not as integral to Marvel Legends as the Ecto 1 is to Ghostbusters. And if there's anybody who's collecting any Ghostbusters line, like if you were a Mezco collector that's got the Mezco 4-pack and you're looking for the vehicle to go with them, this is the vehicle for $324.99. You don't need the second movie one because you don't really need the figures either. You just want from the first movie. You got the first movie guys with cloth goods. Here's the vehicle for them.
Yeah. There's only a handful of really essential, iconic vehicles in the Marvel kind of superhero world, because
for sure. And I agree with Rectangular Todd. I agree. Robbie was not that one.
Right. Yeah. The characters are vehicles in themselves. Like, we talking about superpowered people. They could fly. They could like whatever. Like, they don't need to get around an Ecto 1 and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
it could have been the same campaign for, like, I don't know, a motorcycle with light up sounds and lights and everything, and the same characters that were eventually the stretch goals or the additional tiers, like Mephisto and Goblin Queen and all that. But if it had been, you know, Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, what people are more familiar with, and it was like a kitted out bike,
which we got,
but without lights and sounds. If it had all the features of the Robbie one, but it was the motorcycle instead.
Oh, see, I missed that. See, I felt like we should have just gotten a straight up Ghost Rider HasLab and just balls to the wall. Yes,
every tier is a new Ghost Rider with a new vehicle.
I feel
that
like
would be crazy.
We were all hoping for something like that, but that might have been a little too like ambitious. But yeah.
Well, look what we've done, you guys. We were bitching all about these negative YouTubers talking about the HasLab EOV campaign and the content farm that became of it, and here we are, a year later, doing the same thing.
Well, I'll tell you what. All of this talk, this conversation that we having right here, makes me believe that they'll try it again. They'll do a very limited run of like more generic version of the EOV and just put it up as a pre-order, and limited quantities, first come first serve, and it's a good possibility that they could double back to it now.
Well, that's a good segue.
Bold strategy.
We are seeing it in real time with the Sentinel.
You said we see it. You said what?
I said that's a good segue because we're seeing them do it in real time with this Sentinel.
That's true. That's
right.
True. That's true. Did I hear Pete?
I'm here.
Oh.
Why did y'all spend the last 20 minutes talking about old shit? Like, it's crazy.
That's why I had to bring it back around, because now we are those negative toy tubers milking views for the negativity or whatever.
Just old shit in relation to new shit and how we got here.
Hey, it's Comic-Con weekend. What are
Listen
we
here,
doing?
Poncho. I don't need you to bring reality into this situation.
But I'm. What's the overall consensus though here on the on this Sentinel? Dope. Yeah, you like it?
Yeah,
That's
What
cool.
you expect?
it's making me rethink my purchases and rethink where my Sentinels live in my collection now.
Right. The HasLab Sentinels, you mean? Yeah.
Because
Damn.
I mean, not in a negative way, in a like how I want to display my Sentinels. Because I bought 3 because I was like, all right, one can be master mold, then I can flank it with 2 other Sentinels. But then I traded one for a his tank, so then I had 2. But then I was like, well, shit, it wouldn't make sense for one of them to be master mold and the other to be a Sentinel, and they're the same size. So then, therefore, I don't use the master mold head, and so I just got 2 Sentinels.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, well, shit, I can just trade my other Sentinel and only have one of the HasLab, and that's my master mold, and these are my Sentinels.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot in the past few hours.
I would even say you can still keep 2 of the original HasLab and just have one be the Tri Sentinel.
Yeah, that's true. That's another head that I have that I'm not using. So
exactly.
But yeah, I just feel like Master Mold is supposed to like really dwarf the Sentinels that he's putting out. So
for sure,
I don't know. That is still, it doesn't quite work, but I don't know. It works. It could.
But it also couldn't.
Right.
So here's a question. Do you feel that given its X-Men 97 style, that it is too cartoony to go with the way that our X-Men Legends look in our display?
Yes. I mean, but again, you are a different type of collector than me. I don't like the mix and match shit. So
yeah, that's true. Like if you missed out on, or if you pass purposely on the original HasLab Sentinel because you're like, it's a little too modern, it's a little too like, and it was based on like that current run of X-Men and the waves of X-Men that we got, we're all Powers of X, House of 10, or House of X type of stuff. So it's, if you missed out on that because you didn't like that, then this is your more classic Sentinel.
Right.
And it goes specifically with the X-Men 97 stuff, which is classic enough in and of itself,
But it is still more of a classic look still.
For sure. It's a lot more smoothed out. It's a little less techy, Yeah,
it still could be just an old school kind of classic Sentinel for,
Yeah, I mean, I'm digging it. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Price point is good. 150 would have been great.
Yeah. 150 would have been the real sweet spot. But like you said, that math that you presented is
that $25 makes a difference because if you sell, what did I say? If you sell 1,000 of these, if you sell 1,000 of these, that's
10,000. Wait, you said 1,000 or 10,000?
So if you sell 10,000 of these, that's $250,000 you left on the table by just not bumping it up another $25.
$25, yeah, it's crazy.
So somebody in accounting is doing their job and is like, $149.99 is good, but what about $175?
Right. Yep.
How big was Giant Man in relation to this? Giant Man was $199.
That is an excellent question.
Giant Man, I think.
Yeah, exact. Here we go.
Oh, Giant Man was $199. They were 200 each, and he was, but that's not what you asked just now.
Yeah, the height.
No, the height. So this guy is 22.2 inches. Giant Man was what, 24? Somebody in
shorter than the Sentinel. So Sentinel,
okay, Giant Man is 2 inches taller. Giant Man is, well, I'm getting conflicting reports over here.
Yeah, Giant Man is 24 inches tall.
Dan Yoon, that's the final word. 24 inches. Okay, I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and it's a much more minimal, so to speak, release. It is more bare bones. It doesn't have as much texturing in the sculpting. It's a little bit more like, simple color palette, no shading, fewer kind of swappable accessories on there. I think it makes perfect sense. Honestly, straight up, I think these are the Sentinels people have been waiting for. More than the original HasLab, which was, again, that very much more modern style.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, these will definitely go with your like 80s kind of X-Men, 80s to like early 90s kind of crew, and like it works for a more classic look to the Sentinel, even though it is still kind of in that cartoon look, but yeah, it works.
I think the real question here is, will the Master Mold head swap onto this body? Because what if you just had this little 22-inch body with that giant ass Master Mold head on it? That'd be awesome.
Here's a question. Who remembers the height of the Marvel Universe Sentinels?
I was just thinking about that Sentinel because like in those original, some of those original promo images of the HasLab Sentinel, they had the height comparisons with those two.
Those were
Flamingo is saying 16 inches. So is Brad Harper. What's up, Brad?
16 inches. So this is a figure's height bigger than the Marvel Universe Sentinel. And there used to be a time when everybody displayed those Marvel Universe Sentinels with their 6-inch legends.
Yeah.
So this is crazy.
I think these make more sense as an army builder, straight up.
At 150, yes.
At 150, yes. But at 175, yeah, for sure.
You maybe have like a squad. I don't know about an army. I'm speaking from my pockets right now. I know it's a lot of ballers in the chat.
So these are made to order, open pre-orders. So they will be making the amount that are pre-ordered. So if anybody's thinking of army building these at all, they're gonna have to future-proof themselves, order them ahead of time.
Yeah.
When does it end?
Because they won't be 175 after they actually hit hands.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Marvel Universe Sentinel was 15.75 inches.
That's crazy. So wait, when does this end? So we know that the pre-order went live today at 7:30, but I haven't seen anywhere an end date.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if they mentioned when pre-orders closed.
The Hasbro Pulse Instagram. I know we got a few of those pre-orders up already. Yeah, here we go.
Honestly, this is the this is the okie doke though, really, because I mean, it really is still technically like a sneaky HasLab. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's just the HasLab is now what it always was, and it's just a pre-order.
Yeah, the HasLab is now just a little bit more accessible, I would say. Like it feels a little less.
You know what it is too?
It's removing the stigma of why does a multi-billion-dollar company need to have a crowdfund project?
Right, but
and
I mean,
it was never a crowdfund.
The HasLab gave the collectors a kind of like window view into like some of the economics and like seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like, all right, well, you motherfuckers want this shit or not, and we don't have to tell you how many we sold or anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
and once again, Dan and Rick had mentioned it earlier too, that this doesn't actually charge until it ships either. So it's not like it gets to the end of the pre-order window on November 26th, and then you get charged that day and wait a year. This doesn't actually charge until it ships.
So that is worth repeating. And that needs to be advertised a little bit harder, Dan, because that is a game changer.
Yeah, that gives you
a true future you problem.
Yes.
I want this right now. When the time comes and they're about to charge me for it, then we'll see. But that could be a good way of getting those extras out there that people will then want to army build.
Yeah.
Cancel pre-orders.
To Rick's point, this makes it the exact, okay, I see what you're doing, Legends team. They're changing the game because by not paying up front, it is now the opposite and the antithesis of the HasLab.
That's right.
So they're the cool.
Like, why are you paying up front for product that a company should just be wanting to take a chance on?
Yeah.
As is tradition.
But there will be no excuses, because now if you don't pre-order this, knowing that there's is there a cap? Is there like a 5 whatever limit on this?
5 per person, it said, I think.
All right. So does it say that for sure?
Yeah, I don't know actually. Maybe, I think I was reading the HasLab thing actually.
All right. So if there is no
cap.
Yeah, if there is no cap, if it's
No cap.
less than $200,
Yeah, there you go.
and
There
you
is
don't
no
have to pay up front, there will be no mercy on the secondary market for anybody that doesn't pre-order this.
Right.
Because we all know damn well these will double in price on the secondary market easy.
Yep.
So that's a game changer. Y'all should be shouting that from the rafters all weekend long.
No, you're saying the quiet part loud, David.
I'm all about this paper, baby. I respect it.
No, it makes sense for sure. And again, I think this is the Legends Sentinel right here.
Yeah, you're going to see some wild stuff happening on the secondary with these. People are going to be having 3 for a price, 5 for a price. People are going to buy 10 of these and sit on 5 and like, yeah, it's happening.
Honestly, I don't think there's ever been a better Sentinel. This design of Sentinel is fucking perfect.
It is. It's the very, again, it's just that classic sort of like, all right, it's just a large robot. It's not a whole bunch of like bells and whistles on the shit. It's a big ass robot.
Dude, I think even the David Vonner Marvel Universe ones were just that touch more modern, you know?
Yeah.
This is that classic Sentinel.
Yeah,
that could be worth, you know, dumping a pre-order of 10 and then figuring it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did we find out a ship date in 2025 when these will head home?
Let's see. Ship date. Estimated ship date is subject to change. I've heard. Here we go. Pre-order available to ship approximately October 1st, 2025.
2025?
Yeah, pretty much a full year.
Damn, you got a year to dig yourself out of debt and
Yep.
get these? I'm getting 10. Like,
as well.
Because if you, what is that? Let's do some mental math real quick. If you get 10, that's $17K. I mean, that's $1,700.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it's closer to 100 or 1,825 because of the extra 5s that you're tacking on at the end there.
I'll take it. If you set aside $100 each paycheck, you Gucci by the time October 1st rolls around 2025.
100%. Yep.
Damn.
That is the way to think about this. You are basically paying yourself to have 10 Sentinels in October.
I'm gonna have you look through my books, David Walden, because you got some good advice.
I mean, and again, this goes back to what I was saying. This now becomes the antithesis to the HasLab. Why pay? Well, shit. Here we go, breaking it down. Why pay? Look, why get them for 345 days when we can get them for 1,000 in a year if they stay locked in and keep their pre-orders?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people that fumble these pre-orders. Ship date's going to come. They're going to be like, oh, I actually don't want this anymore. Bro, people are mad at you, David Walton.
Nah,
I might be mad at you.
Don't be mad at me when you have your army of 10 Sentinels sitting on your shelf and it doesn't sting as bad because you've been stacking that bread aside and stashing it. Nah, I'm the Starbucks today. That's my Sentinel money. Nah, babe, we ain't going out to eat tonight. I'm about to go in here and make you some of this top ramen. That's my Sentinel money. You look up in October and that money comes out and you got it in a savings account or stash.
I mean, you know what it is too is that like people thought that that's what they were going to do with the HasLab Sentinel, and then like that shit was like so overwhelmingly large that it was just like, actually, I'm not going to have 10 of these or whatever. Like I'm bugging having 3 of these. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this being just a little smaller, a little sleeker, a little less bulky, 10 of these together will look very cool. Very nice.
Very cool. Very cool. This is like feeding a starving kid in Africa right now, son. For only $200 a month, you too can have a family of Sentinels sitting on your shelf in 2025.
And honestly, knowing how crazy this is going to be aftermarket, like even if you don't decide to keep all 10, it's all gravy, baby. Gravy's good tonight.
Yeah.
Well, that's the flip right there. If they sell them for $300 each on the aftermarket, got me thinking like a scalper over here, Fab.
Well, shit, man. I mean, it's hard not to. We're all trying to get our hustle on somewhere.
Yo,
But
real
yeah,
talk.
And not because like, oh, I'm
though.
gonna get whatever. If you decide for your display that you can't fit 10, but you can maybe fit 6, then what are you gonna do with the other 4?
This is true.
You know,
Dan coming through and dropping that information about that the payment isn't due up front is a game changer for this.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I mean, that's usually how it works on Hasbro Pulse anyway. So that's pretty much the norm across the board on Hasbro Pulse anyway. But it should be noted too that the pre-order window for for Dragon Man closed yesterday too. So
yeah,
don't think that it won't happen. That you won't miss the opportunity. You know what I mean? So something to think about.
Yeah, I like it. This is good. This just went from like a strong 8 to about a 9.5.
Yeah. I think it's done right for sure.
Good job, guys. That's how you read
it. Again, it is a little on the pricey side. It is a big figure for sure. It's a little on the pricey side, but man, can't deny it's probably the Sentinel that many people have wanted for a long time.
I feel like this might not even have been like really in the original like plans and shit. I just think that X-Men 97 was so hot and was so well received that it was just like, okay, there's an opportunity here. You know, there is a real possibility that we could really dig in, especially with how well received the regular figures from X-Men 97 were received too. So yeah.
Hey, you know what I just thought about? I'm a raid on my own parade. These joints are gonna have knee joints made out of Laffy Taffies.
No.
There's gonna be no ratchets in these knees and these elbows.
Nah, I think they learned their lesson with that.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. But yeah, and you don't need as stronger ratchets for these because without the electronics inside, without all that thick ass plastic in the head.
That's true.
Yep, these are gonna be they definitely gonna be more lightweight and probably a little more hollow. But yeah.
I'm all in. Let's go.
All right, so yeah, that was Hasbro. We didn't really touch on the Joe stuff.
Could.
I don't think
those pictures were hard to decipher.
What, the Joe stuff?
Yeah, the ones I saw. All of them had like a Dutch angle. It was crazy.
Yeah, somebody up in the front just like this.
Yeah, I was like, who is that? Is that what is that? It was hard to decipher on the pics I saw. So if Fabs had some better picks, this would be like a reveal for me for what we're getting.
Yeah, we can. I mean, every brand just about showed up, you know, all kinds of stuff. So depends what we want to look at. I think.
I mean, just touch on the Joe stuff real quick because the other
Joe
was some Star Wars stuff that about some like show that I never even heard of with these kids.
Acolyte.
No, it wasn't the Acolyte. It was some other show. New show.
This new movie that's coming
out
called like it's the one set in the Star Wars suburbs.
It's like kids. It's like a group of kids.
Yeah, it's like Goonies in space.
Basically.
Okay.
What is it called? Come on, Skeleton Crew. Thank you,
Skeleton Crew. Yes.
Yeah.
What? Skeleton Crew?
It looks good.
It's not even out yet.
Yeah, it looks good. It's not out yet. Yeah, it looks good.
So
all right. Well, here's the Joe stuff real quick.
They said that. Oh, okay. You're starting here. Okay, got it. Yeah. This was
only because I couldn't find the Star Wars stuff.
Boo.
Okay, there we go. So classified. They're having some delays. All right. Here's some render reveals. Is that Pedro Pascal?
Is that Footloose?
Footloose.
Nice.
Kick off your Sunday shoes.
Like that. I always like this guy.
Yeah.
What's the thing with him?
If I remember correctly, it was Footloose the one in the intro on the cartoon that when he's running through the jungle, he trips and shoots the bazooka and it just goes off crazy.
Was that him or was that actually Bazooka?
In my mind's eye, it was Footloose. But he was kind of like a carefree guy, carefree Joe, carefree soldier of fortune.
He was on drugs.
Yeah, he was the Joe's weed man. He always had that stick. That's why he's dressed in all green, bro. We gotta let the people know.
That's Pedro Pascal.
Definitely the unmasked Mandalorian right there.
Definitely.
That is Pedro Pascal for real. That's Reed Richards.
Jesus. Okay. What? An accessory set?
Yeah, it's like a outpost type of deal. So you got the sandbags and
Are those bollards? Or like vehicle blockades?
That's sandbags.
Is that what it is? No. He's talking about the metal looking things there.
Oh, the metal. Oh, that come out the ground. So you're That's crazy.
Bollards.
Actually, what's
cool.
crazy is you knew what those were called. That's crazy too.
Yeah.
Put those in front of your thing, your vehicle.
Yeah,
Yep, cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they had a picture of it like in like a sort of makeshift display too, so you could see how it could look or whatever.
What is this?
Another version of the Alley Viper, I guess this is.
What's that? There's a name for that type of camouflage. Techno?
Digital camo.
Digital camo.
Is it? That's what it is? When you're hiding in the Matrix doing war.
That's right.
For the keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors. Very funny.
Wow, he comes with a lot. That's a big set.
That is yo, look, as Dan said earlier, when you're not paying royalties, you can load these the fuck out. Like you can put all kind of stuff in there.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that loadout is crazy.
This dude is fighting in a age of heavy artillery and straight up has a shield. Go Cobra.
Well, you can stack these?
You can stack them. Okay, got it. All right.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to.
That's impressive.
Now this really piqued my interest. You know, this was like that. What was it? The 20th anniversary, 50th? What was those? The
30th. The infantry.
Yeah.
Yes. The two of my favorite figures from this year were the scuba dudes, the Navy SEAL dudes, and the
60th anniversary.
What was it? 60th?
Yeah.
60th anniversary. So yeah, in that vein, you know, they doing some more kind of like almost kind of generic, you know, folks here. So you already know where this is going, right? You know that at some point we'll get some generic paramedics probably, and then police is happening. It's got to.
I mean, I don't know if they'll be in a rush to do the police ones, but definitely the paramedics. This is crazy.
It's cool, dude. This is awesome that they're doing this.
This is damn near like
they got the Jaws of Life in there.
Yeah, but that's a reuse of a part from one of the dreadnoughts, I believe. Ripper, I think.
Yeah, you might be right. Yep.
The fact that so just roll with me for a second. The fact that this is pretty close to a civilian army builder.
Yep.
You can use these firemen across lines.
Across the board. Yep.
Already I can see somebody doing a dope ass setup with Spider-Man with the fireman and Spider-Man wearing that fireman helmet. And that would be amazing.
Yep.
But this is one of those things that's not necessarily attached to nostalgia, and you just think it's cool.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing
you already collect, you know?
With the Navy SEALs and the other like infantry dudes or whatever. Like if you just want generic like army dudes to like, you know, be part of your universe building, then there you have it. It's this is a great look.
This is a must-have. Really doesn't. I don't even associate a fireman with G.I. Joe.
Right.
But this dude has a ton of axes, though. This guy is a maniac.
Ton of hammers too. God damn.
Like, what are you doing to these fires, bro? Not a single damn not a single hose.
He's going into that flaming building and tenderizing some meat.
These is the firemen that operate in the hood, and they come in, tear up your shit, and steal your shit and leave.
What's my man's name from American Psycho? Is it Jason? Is it
Jason Bateman?
Yeah, this is him in disguise. This is crazy. This is another great loadout. The deco looks great. It'll be nice if they go the
You gotta
extra
get two
mile.
at least.
Yeah, it'll be nice if they go the extra mile and make the silver on the hazard or whatever reflective, or at least have a little bit of a sheen to it. That would be really nice.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I don't know what mass means, but there you go.
The mass device.
Oh, well, how about purple snake eyes with glowing hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could keep the glowing hands and shit, but the polar bear's cool.
He's got a polar bear.
Sorry to be that guy. This polar bear is undersized. If this is like properly scaled, like the photo, that's a small polar bear.
It is.
Yeah, that's a baby polar bear.
That's a baby polar bear.
Looks nice. And I'm sure the articulation is going to be there. Does one head have an open mouth? The other head has a closed. There's no articulated mouth on this one.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little tiny. But
why are his hands glowing?
Because he carried some radioactive materials in the Arctic, and as a result, he got like radioactive poisoning, and it made his hands glow.
You shouldn't have done that.
Bad idea.
He's done wiser things.
All right. Well, then they showed the floor. Is that relevant to something?
I don't know, but I don't know if I hope Toy Art got a picture of the final tease. But yeah, these were some retro carded things that were coming out. Rock and roll. With this look, fire.
Hold on. Go back to that ground for a second. I'm about to start a controversy.
Okay.
Build a vehicle USS flag. Boom. Sneak peek. You heard it here first. That's what that is.
That's the flight deck right there.
Yeah, that's a piece of the flight deck. Letting you know, in 2029 you'll have it completed. This is step one right here.
Wow. How many offerings? How many parts? 30?
Yeah, once a month between now and 2029, and it's yours. You got it.
Fucking crazy.
Each piece is $50.
You better say your prayers or eat your vitamins and stay alive for that long.
If you missing any sections, then you'll have a battle damaged flag.
Yeah, a man can dream. That's funny.
Retro rock and roll.
Yeah, retro. I think it was like 2 other retro offerings that they show, or renders or whatever.
Yeah, that looks good. People will want this because he doesn't have the tattoos and he looks like the conventional look that people are used to. So yeah, this is good. That's a good look.
All pinless.
Yeah.
Yes. Whoa. Mindbender.
Yeah, boy.
Because I think we only got one Mindbender, and it was part of like some like deluxe set or whatever.
Yeah, it was Comic-Con exclusive, I think.
It was an exclusive.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to make a lot of people happy. Not have to get this guy on the secondary market. I know that this is a hole in a lot of people's collections. So good on them. This is retro carded.
Yeah, another retro carded.
It's crazy to me that even if you're this deep into this line, you can still miss exclusives.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're all in on this, you're like one of those people that's getting everything,
Yeah, but
there are people that have missed out.
I also think this was one of the first years that they did that whole like digital code shit, and you had to be there.
Yeah.
And so that a lot of people were freaking out about that because they were like, wait, you got to have what? And you got to wait and do what? And so, yeah, if you didn't know somebody at the con that year that could hold you down and grab you one of these, a lot of people missed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so this will be good. I haven't opened mine yet, so I don't know if this one looks different. Most of the retro carded stuff has been looking different.
I think there's a difference with the with his little like coat, if I'm not mistaken. I did open mine, but I put him back in the bottle.
Yeah, but this is a must-have. He's a freaky ass. He's a 69 god.
Yeah, definitely freaky ass boy.
Dr. Mindbender. Yeah, Dr. Mindbender is a must-have. Come on, man. That's a sexy ass evil scientist right there.
Basically.
He's got some real Jose Menendez vibes. Like, he knows how to party.
Yeah. This dude has on a cod piece. Come on,
Yeah,
son.
he's trying to turn his sons into Roman warriors, you know, so they got to cuddle.
Oh shit.
Is this a soft goods coat?
Yeah.
It looks more like it's like yeah, it is, but yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be like a pleather or something. And I think the that's the difference. That is the difference. This is more like a pleather. The exclusive was like a felt sort of thing.
Okay. Nice.
All right, another army builder, retro.
Yes, this is retro army builder with the short sleeves. Is the drawer here?
Nice.
I would never have known. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Short sleeves, you say?
I'll cop a couple of these. I had the realization that I needed to stop what I was doing because I realized I don't care as much about army building this line as I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was spending way too much money trying to army build this line because I can now, because it was not something I could do as a kid. But it adds up so quick. Because here's a question for you guys here and for people in the chat. And it goes back to the Sentinel conversation. How many constitutes an army?
I mean, the most I ever army built was when I was doing the guerrilla soldiers from NECA, and I had like 25 of them. Like that to me is a pretty solid army.
Yeah, that's a solid army. But when it comes, there's different levels depending on the property. Like I feel like for G.I. Joe, like some of these soldiers, you know, some of the grunts or whatever, I think 20 is pretty solid. I think when you start getting into like Star Wars shit, I think like if you really about that life, then you got to start thinking like 40 and 50. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
oh, maybe I'm watching too much Game of Thrones, but that's what I'm thinking. Like an army is like, you know, from a distance, you see like groups of dudes, you know, each one of those is a squad of like 10 to 20. And then the combination of 6 squads is an army.
So I love the fact that y'all throwing out these big ass numbers because that was the realization that I had to come to. Because I also think that an army doesn't start until you get to 10. So Boog's first number he threw out is 20. If you have 20 of these, that's $500 that you've spent on one
very small army.
Yes. One little squadron in your collection, and Cobra is comprised of multiple dudes like this. So
I feel like we're talking like actual military industrial complex dudes where it's like, yeah, I can get like 100 of these Blackwater dudes, but is it really going to be enough to overtake Yemen?
But it was just the realization that I needed to come to that I was like, yo, when does it end? And at what point do I just buy enough of these like 1 or 2 or 3? And then when I put them all together, that's my army.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. Maybe I just also collect too many lines. I'm spread too thin to really get in and go hard with the Joes like I would like.
Yeah.
That's why I say, like, if this is the only line you collect, like you're eating good. You can live in this world forever and just buy all kinds of stuff.
I think that was it for the retro carded stuff, and then they had one final tease here.
Oh, these are name only reveals.
Yeah, name only reveals, even though that's a picture.
Oh, interesting.
Picture only reveals.
You guys know who this is?
No.
Is this?
No, but he's fabulous.
Is this when they started tiptoeing into the world of like the toxicity and like environmental stuff? So that color scheme.
Dude, I hope we get more of that. I've always said I think my favorite of the Joe shit is like the Tiger Squad and the Viper Island and all that stuff. Just when they're in just weird colorways that are not conducive to camouflage in a jungle.
Yeah, I don't know who this is. That's interesting. I normally have a pretty good handle on Joe's. I've never seen that in my life.
Another floor picture?
Another flag.
1 is a coincidence. 2 is a pattern. Okay, who's this guy? He's got some kind of, I don't know, crystal
name?
ball.
Yes, Crystal Ball. Was that Poncho?
I'm here.
Bro.
P. Chessie.
None of these guys are in PSAs, so I'm checked out.
I hear you.
Gotcha.
Like a little
Well, you're actually into this, Walton, so it's good to have you for this.
This is
guys.
Crystal Ball is a very highly sought after figure, and it makes sense they're doing him, especially since they just did Raptor. He's one of those obscure characters that you're talking about, Fab. And if we have gotten Raptor and we've gotten Crystal Ball, that means what's his name? What's the drug dealer dude's name? Damn, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Dr. Feelgood.
Wait, say it again.
Dr. Feelgood.
That may be on his fake ID. But Headman, yes, thank you, Spido.
Yeah,
Headman not be far behind. This dude was straight up in Cobra, and his power, if they have powers, his thing is that he was just sold drugs, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, he can't be far behind.
So it's that kind of crystal ball.
Yeah. Crystal 8 Ball is his full government name.
Love him. Love that for him. What about this another Snake Eyes? In G.I. Joe Classified? It couldn't be.
I think this is this Ninja Force Snake Eyes, or is this like V2 Snake Eyes? I don't think.
I think this was like one of like the original looks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think this is. I think, and I'm sure the chat will correct me. I've been wrong multiple times this evening, but I've been saying it all so confidently. I think after he went from the commando look, was this the look that he had before he went to the most popular ninja look that we know and love for Snake Eyes? I think this is how this happened. Or I've got the order backwards. He went from commando to the ninja look that we know, and then this came third. It's one of those. And like I said, wrong but confident. The chat has said this is the V4 look.
Okay.
There you
That's
go.
Cool.
Wrong and loud.
Pretty sure we've already gotten this Storm Shadow back here too.
Yeah, that one.
Or at least a version of him.
I think that was like one of the Arctic looks for Storm Shadow.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And then a tease. Boog, what's this tease?
David, can you guess?
What's the vehicle that the Dreadnoughts use? That what's it called? It's that it's got like a funny name. To Google I go.
Damn.
You know what? I didn't think that. When I saw it, I didn't see it this close up. I thought Sergeant Slaughter's tank at first, but now that you say that, I think you might be right.
Yeah, that's not. Sarge's tank has treads, and this is tires. And we've gotten, and I'm pretty sure the dude, the Dreadnought that we're missing, is the one with like the greenish hair, or part of his hair is like green, and he drives that car.
I was looking to see because my friend and friend of the show, KJ, Black Genghis, also had a post somewhere where he was comparing this to some reference art and that it might in fact be a certain G.I. Joe vehicle, but I don't know where he put that. So
the chat,
shout out to KJ. KJ, if you're listening, if you're there in the chat, send me a link, dog.
Yo, this is like a presidential debate. The chat has been like fact checking me in real time.
I thought we agreed we weren't going to fact check.
I love it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of putting the truth out there. So the mystery has been solved. The name of that vehicle that the Dreadnoughts use is called the Thunder Machine.
Okay. I got the post from a Toy Kind of Mood, friends of the show, of which KJ belongs. He says it's an AWE Striker. Awe Striker.
AEW
was dead.
No, Awe Striker. I guess I Should have just read the whole thing.
Is that what he's saying that vehicle is?
Yeah, because he got Crystal Ball right.
He did get Crystal Ball right. Crystal 8 Ball. I don't know what the AWE Striker is. Interesting.
Spidle says it doesn't remind him of the Awe Striker.
I'm
Nick
saying
Fury saying Thunder Machine twice. He must mean it.
Ooh, hold up.
Eric Terzanowski says it could be Snowcat. No, she's hanging out on Discord. Definitely not.
Incredible.
Nah.
Awe Striker or Thunder Machine just seems to be the two prevailing ones.
See, I see why people would think that it could be the Striker because it has that little piece of the roll cage right there to the top.
Yeah.
But the Awe Striker is a dune buggy, and unless that's the back tire, I don't know. Again, we've gotten our fair share. We've gotten almost the entire Dreadnoughts team. So it would make sense that this would be the Thunder Machine and Thrasher, because I think that almost finishes that entire team.
Nick Fury says there's also a foot peg on top right here. You see that? All right.
What are you betting your money on? Awe Striker?
I don't know. I don't care. I got no skin in this game.
Well, either way, whatever it is, I will buy it because I support 6-inch scaled vehicles. It's something that I never thought we would get as a collector, and G.I. Joe Classifieds is giving us quite a bit. So I will keep buying them. Yeah.
All righty. Well,
tease.
We are a little bit past the top of the 2 hours here. If there's nothing else pressing we want to get to, a little bit of Hasbro stuff. I'd rather wait for Rick and Poncho to be here so we can talk about some of the Tamashii stuff that's been revealed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Was that Poncho? Was that
technically P is here, but and when Rick is here, that'll be unless P wants to.
Yeah, no, we'll double back to all of the DBZ stuff, the Tamashii, all of that type of stuff, and then we gotta tap in with October stuff as well. So yeah, we were supposed to keep this to a strong 45 to an hour anyway. So
we were flowing. We had some good times, a lot of bad ones, so we just kept it going.
This was fun, fellas. Really cool to chop it up and talk about all the stuff revealed at NYCC Con. If we got a little bit of 15 minutes of overtime, do we think this will be the year that we will see the return of the New York Comic-Con Marvel Legends exclusive?
We would have had it by now.
I feel like there is the possibility that something will at least go up for pre-order tomorrow that we haven't heard about yet, or be available in some type of way. Real quick, one of the Star Wars things that they showed, like one of those like clone trooper dudes, I'm confused about them, was you could see it at one of the booths now. So that's on display. So I think it's a good possibility that Legends may do that. I mean, aside from the fact that we're going to see some version of the Sentinel tomorrow, but I think there might be something else.
Okay. I just missed the days of when there was a SDCC exclusive, and then when New York Comic-Con came around, there was an exclusive tied directly to that event as well. It's funny. I don't even think that we've ever gotten like a real reason why that stopped.
It must be easier to ship to New York than to, from Rhode Island than to California. So, yeah, you'd have to wonder.
Maybe one day.
All right. Boog, do you want to plug out and get us out of here?
Yeah. Thanks to P for putting this together in his astral form. Thanks to Diva for coming on. We always enjoy your insight and your commentary. Thanks to Fabio for being here as a regular. And thanks to Rick for checking in. Thanks to Dan for checking in. Thanks to everybody in the chat that hung out this evening. Shout out to everybody that I saw so far at New York Comic Con. Shout out to Brandon. Me and Brandon hung out last night. Shout out to the Mondo crew. Shout out to Bob and Hector and stuff over at Mondo. They were nice enough to put me on a list to go to their little private event at Barcade last night. So I got to chop it up with Brandon for quite a while. Emia and Ed actually joined us there as well. Shout out to everybody that I saw just the past couple of days. I bumped into Swift tonight. He couldn't get into the Legends panel because it was like super packed. I bumped into Hero Collections. I met him for the first time. I saw Dante. I saw Toy Shiz. I saw so many people. But yeah, again, shout out to everybody that I saw. I got to chop it up with Jesse yesterday before the panel.
Mr. Falcon.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it's been good. It's been cool, calm, and collected so far for Comic-Con. Good vibes. But again, shout out to everybody that I saw. Shout out to everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Stay tuned. I got quite a bit of content to put out. And yeah, thank you. Love y'all. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell down there. And until next time, goodbye.
And
shout out.
If you're gonna die with your boots on. Peace, toy soldiers.
Shout out to Work More or Less, who I like fucked up and said he was Plastic Action. My bad.
Oh no.
But Jax wasn't there, but Work More or Less was there. Shout out to him. And yeah, I'll be shouting on people for the next week as I remember all the people that I saw.
Okay.
All right.
I don't have a cool outro, so I love you. Bye-bye.
David Walton, it's been a pleasure.
Hey, pleasure was all mine. And you got me out here about the Boston Lizards. So good job.
Bro, I'm saying, dude, this guy's so cool.
That's like I held this up earlier. I'm gonna sneak this last thing in. Shout out to all the other stores. This is how you do an exclusive. Pre-ordered this yesterday, got it today. Some people pre-ordered this Quicksilver and got it the same day from Walmart. What is it called? Walmart Con, whatever. Yeah.
Oh God, Collector Con at Walmart.
Oh, I need that. I need that.
This is how. Did you pre-order yours yesterday?
No.
You better go
Go
check
on Walmart.com and get it right now. You'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah, you will. You probably will get it tomorrow. It's crazy. All right, y'all. This has been real. Thank you for having me on. Community, thank you guys. Keep taking those pictures for October. You guys have been putting up some heat, and great job on the themes this year. Pancheezy. Great job on the themes every year, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, P.
Hell yeah.
Love you, dog.
Okay, hold on. Before we go, Brad Harper hit us with 5. Happy weekend, gents. Boog. Have a fun and safe NYCC. Bo Biggs, the man, the myth, the legend, hit us with 10. And then Shelf Presence hit us with a donation as well, saying being a pre-order or not a HasLab, they can re-release, which is a great point.
That's true.
Money in the bank.
It's wonderful. All right, goodbye.
All right, thank you, guys.
Peace. Yeah, this is cool, guys. Thank you for letting me keep going and crash the party.
No, that was great. There should be more times for sure.
What do you guys get into this weekend? Anything exciting? Anything expensive?
Hasbro breakfast is